Aloha from Hawaii. Welcome back, my friends. Ann Hayes, aka Mama G, co-creator, as I always say, along with the prime creator of Fiercely Fulfilled Feminine, where I help twin flames to heal sexual trauma, reclaim their power, and experience true fulfillment through what I call the sacred sexuality method. In fact, I'm going to refer to the first two critical key aspects to that method today. I'm talking about sex. You want that sex with you to inflame. Maybe you have not been there yet. Maybe you have been there and you have backed up and retracted, contracted, really through fear, and yet you want it. You want it so bad because you know how good it can be, and you feel the depth of this connection, and you know that this is the one for you. You know that this is the one. If you're here right now, you know it. You're your own inner authority. You've been intuitively, strongly guided. This is the love of your life. And yet there's fear there. And that's okay. First of all, do not self-shame. It's all good to go. And if you have self-shame slipped up, that's all good to go too. There is no right or wrong on this journey. It's just an expression of all of it. So honor yourself through all of it. I know we're up on some full moon energies. We got a full moon in Leo coming up real soon on Hawaii time, more like February 2nd, over on the other side of the world, talking about GMT UK time. At any rate, let's get to it. Get to it. You want the sex, and yet, oh my goodness, you're afraid of the sex. In fact, through my own personal experience and clients who have shown up in my experience, there seems to be a theme, especially among not just the females, but guys too. Let's face it, all the divine counterparts are feeling it. If you are feeling it, I trust you that your divine counterpart is feeling it, and you might be saying, come on now, they're out going all willy-nilly. Let's just back up. I'm going to explain all of that in a moment. Remember, you are the same soul, different expressions, different dominant expressions of energy. You are one. You are one. So let's just maintain that. You're here. You're here on a union timeline. Good to go. So, yeah, it's all about the sex. It truly, truly is all about the sex because, as I've said again and again, sexual energy is the creative life force of the universe. In fact, the number one way that we experience joy in this physical dimensional reality is through relationship, relating. And the deeper the relationship, the deeper the connection, the greater the intimacy, the more that we, and I say we because this is me too, experience blissful, divine aspect. In other words, the veil just fades away. And that's essentially what it is. So the veil fades away so that we feel and experience more and more of who we truly are. And we start to see more and more of who our divine counterpart really is. Oh, and you get more excited. You can get to a space where you'll be excited about the sex, where you like just enjoy the sex with yourself. So let's get to it, okay? That fear of sex with your divine counterpart, like I said, whether you've been there yet or not, maybe you're thinking about the next go around, has everything to do with an echo of trauma. And I know you know this, okay? I know you know this. And that trauma is held in the body. The body has been crying out. And perhaps you've started to pay attention to her or not, but, or he, I know I tend to focus on females here because, your your body is actually your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is not up here. It is in your body within every single cell. Remember, it is an energy, a program, a code. It's all energy. It's all energy. And yes, that energy, when it coalesces and manifests, does become external, what appears to be totally touchable physical reality, and yet it's an energy. So let's start with that. You see, what tends to happen, and this is with both counterparts, divine masculine, divine feminine, is that one goes into contraction through fear. That's about protection. Energetic walls go up. And sex is the most intimate act that you can perform with another. And yet it's the way we connect with the divine. with the God source, with your inner child source, with yourself. Most beautiful expression. And so I would think that we'd all that you want to move beyond that. You want to move beyond the disassociation, the distraction and the deflection. You see, if you're dominantly in divine feminine energy or not, because again, we've got all kinds of genders, so it's really fluid. Or you might be the counterpart that's like, oh man, I want this so bad. Well, trust me, you're both experiencing fear. So typically, one counterpart is going to be the one that's like kind of up. Both, first of all, both are all up in here. Divine feminine, all up in their head, not really grounded, tapping into angels and ascended masters and the intuition and psychic abilities and just being holier than thou, and it's about love and passion. And yet that's just spiritual bypassing. That's just another way to come up out of the body and disassociate. And that's exactly what the other divine counterpart is doing. That's typically in the predominantly divine masculine energy is also up in there. It might be just an inflated ego that is so embedded in the illusion. And it's like, yeah, I'm all this, I'm all that. And yet both are seeking external validation. Both are bypassing what they need to do spiritually. Because even if a counterpart is in the matrix and they're having all kinds of sex, okay, this and that, they're with others, whatever, that is still a lack of connection. It is a disconnect from their body and true intimacy. So it's no different. It's just a different expression. It's their own fear, their own avoidance of intimacy. See, you're avoiding intimacy. Your divine counterpart is avoiding intimacy. If you have any level of fear still around that aspect of you coming into physical reunion or you reconnecting again in physical reunion, and you want that sustainable reunion, you want it all. You want the friendship, like the camaraderie, the support, the fun, the playfulness, and an insane sexual pleasure. Who wouldn't? That's God in action. And so here's the deal. I'm going to back up again, okay? I'm just on a free flow here. And then I'm going to tell you, what you can do about it and how to get there. So we talked about disassociation, distraction, deflection. It's happening within both counterparts. It's happening because both have contracted due to fear, due to past trauma. Okay, here's the deal. The trauma, it became trauma because there was an event or series of events that did not get processed by your nervous system. So your body went into survival mode, and to protect you, it shut down literally parts of your body, parts of the nervous system, so that it wouldn't burn itself out, wouldn't fray the wire, so to speak. So emotions became trapped as dense energy. Your body's been holding on to your pain. It's in contraction, it's in protection, except there's a healthy protection, and there's a protection that just blocks it all out. So you block anything, you block it all. And so what I have found in my experience and observation, there are clients who show up and they're completely numbed out. They don't want to go in there. It's too uncomfortable. It's too painful. It's too scary. And that's okay, because I've been there. It's been a long bit, but I've been there too. And there are others who show up and they're ready to just have that spontaneous purge and letting go and alchemizing. There's no right or wrong. I have found that it may take a few times. Like if I'm working with a client, for example, a lot of times it's spontaneous. It's on the spot from the get-go, because I feel like I create that safe space and that anchoring presence. And yet I've had others it's just, no, I can't get there. I can't get there. Why not? Because they have, and this is like all divine counterparts, you've been either you were dismissed or ignored, like your feelings and your emotions weren't valid. Nobody listened to you, nobody cared, or others walked away. And when you started to express valid emotions, you weren't taught that emotions need to be expressed. You weren't held, you weren't nurtured. So the nervous system continued to remain on lockdown. chronic stress, chronic elevated levels of cortisol, the adrenal fatigue in your kidneys. That's where its fear shows up. Then there's anger and all the other aspects. Okay, so a lot of lower back pain is not just Kundalini activation. That is fear. That is fear showing up that's looking to say, hey, I'm here and I'm ready to be processed. I'm ready to be processed. Here's the deal. You weren't meant to do it alone. Sacred solitude is a thing. But dang, weren't you already alone as a child when these events occurred? And nobody was there to nurture you, to hold you, to hear you, to see you, to witness you? Maybe they walked away. Maybe they didn't care. Maybe they weren't around at all. Or maybe they even hurt you. And then hurt you when you tried to express emotion. Maybe they shamed you. So your nervous system, in order for you to feel safe, in order for you to start to soften and expand and evolve through love and to trust and have faith that when you show up with your divine counterpart, that sex is just going to be beautiful, that intimacy. Maybe it's not right out the gate, because maybe you get to know each other again and to build that in physical reunion. And yet it has to start with you. It starts with you and your own body and tapping in. That's where it begins. You begin to build a safety there. You will begin to allow yourself to be held. Now, I started to talk about sacred solitude. That's a thing. You got to go in that cave like the snake that goes in a corner, doesn't eat for 3 days. It's shedding the skin. It's becoming a greater version of itself. It's not going to eat. It's not going to want to be around anybody. It's focusing on the rest and digest aspect of its experience. Same thing with you. Here's the deal. You were not meant to heal alone. You are not going to truly process and bring and recalibrate your nervous system to align with an inner sense of safety until you show up with somebody else who can hold that sacred space for you, who can see you, hear you, witness you, like I said, where you're vulnerable enough not only to share, yet to really tap in and to express those emotions and to allow somebody to just be there and to encourage it and to be there where you express those emotions, whether it's anger, sadness, grief, pain, relief. You see, because that's how you begin to trust that you're safe to do so, because sex, because of the sexual energy is so strong, you're going to express emotions. You're going to want to be vulnerable. And yet you've got to practice being vulnerable. It's like, building a muscle. You don't just go to the gym and all of a sudden you're going to be able to lift, 200 pounds dead weight. I don't know, because I don't lift weights. I don't go to the gym. That's not my thing. You don't go from 0 to 60 like that. You've got to build that sense of safety. And so you do it, like I said, maybe it's one-on-one. I have one-on-one coaching clients that I work with where we do that. I call it the body reconnect. Simple, basic technique, yet it's potently effective. Very potently effective. You can also show up within a circle of others, particularly other women. I'm big on the goddess circles. I'm big on the healing circles. I've shown up in those myself. I've shown up one-on-one, and I continue to do so. I've shown up in communities and groups and women's groups, online groups, and I've allowed myself to be seen. I've allowed myself to be there where I just cry like a baby. And it's just the softness with which I'm held. And that's one of the biggest aspects that allowed me to begin to then feel safe enough to open up even further. So now it went from reconnecting to the body, to allowing the body to express the pain, to then being able to cultivate healthy, balanced pleasure. That's part of my sacred sexuality reclamation method, to just express more of who I am with more confidence. You see, once you remove or transmute rather pain, you have the ability to align, recalibrate, and you create the space so that you can deprogram, recode, recreate literally your reality so that you can begin to express more of your mystical, badass, galactic goddess essence. And so I have what I call the Body Reconnect Healing Circle that I'm offering starting February 11th this year, 2026, Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 9:33 a.m. Hawaiian time. That is 2:33 p.m. East Coast time of the US of A. And if you want to know why I do I don't go on the hour, that's a whole nother thing too. You feel free to show up and ask me about that. I'm all about the numerology. I'm about breaking up patterns. It's everything I do is intentional. Everything I do is intentional. So this healing circle is, the focus is simply you show up, whether it's you and me or others show up. I don't know from week to week. You have an opportunity to show up, first to be seen. Video on, because that's a requirement that I have. So if you're not ready there yet, this is not for you. Just to show up and have your video on. You're going to be in the gallery and I'm going to look at you. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is allow you the opportunity to be seen by me. So you get to raise your hand, and depending on how long it takes, it could be 4 or 5 people that have an opportunity to be witnessed, where I do the body reconnect with, and then you're able to tap in. Okay? I also might feel the energy, and we might do it as a group. We might do it as a group. That's going to be that's it. That's my focus. We're not going to be doing like heavy duty fire breathing or these crazy techniques with this particular circle. It's simply getting you to reconnect and allow your body to express its pain, because that needs to happen first in order for you to soften into receptivity and to really reclaim your sacred sexuality. That happens first. And when you reclaim your sacred sexuality, I'm telling you, you become badass confident. You feel sexy. You become authentic. You're able to speak and be in your true feminine essence and power. You're able to balance and harmonize those divine feminine, divine masculine energies. And you feel a deeper connection, deeper and deeper connection, even while still potentially in sacred preparation. If not, while you're going to feel a deeper connection anyways. That telepathy will bump up, because what happens is you will now be evolving, not through fear, but through love. And there's a big difference, because one contracts, one is contractual with conditions, and one is unconditional and expansive and opens. Creation energy. Ooh-wee! Loving that one. So like I said, it's the Body Reconnect Healing Circle. Your commitment, your investment is just monthly for 4 weeks online, 1 hour via Zoom, where you have the opportunity to be witnessed, to be held with other women, for just $44.44 US a month. No long-term commitment. It's not like it's going to auto-renew. You don't even have to cancel. Simply, it's as simple as this. You sign up for the month or 4 weeks. You decide after 4 weeks, I'm good to go. I'm not going to renew. Maybe you come back a week later, 2 weeks later, or perhaps you decide, you know what, this is a good gig. This is working for me. Let me continue. Let me continue. So it's the Body Reconnect Healing Circle. Grab that link in the description and join this beautiful sisterhood, and let's get this rocking. 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 Anyways, I have a bunch of other program offers at this time: one-on-one coaching, one-off session, free quantum strategy session. You decide, you choose. I'm here, you choose, you want to be there too? Then let's do this, because here's the deal. I would love to be here to help you to move out of fear and to begin to, beyond the stagnation, beyond the ruminations of this is not going to happen, and back into full throttle intuition, true inner guidance, trust, safety. And that is badass sexy. That's part of what sacred sexuality is all about. And that is what's going to get you to feel like I am good to go. Maybe I'm not going to jump right in between the sheets when we reconnect physically yet. I'm going to be good to go as far as talking about it, as far as, we reacquaint whatever. We develop further that friendship, that bonding, because you see, true intimacy, the most sexy intimacy begins outside of the bedroom first. Maybe it's not the bedroom, maybe whatever, wherever you're rolling around. There it is. Love you so much. And then I know, let me just, one more thing. I'm going to tell you, the telepathic sex, if you choose this, at least the self-pleasure, bam, okay? It gets lit. Love you so much. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all of it. And let's get this rolling. Grab that link and yeah, love you so much. Peace.